And feel free to bleep this out. And with that, I just
Oh my
this,
god.
This is going to be preceded by just 2 solid minutes of bleeps, occasionally interrupted by silence. That's the Left Trek promise.
Proximity alert. Vessel approaching. The vessel is hailing.
Space.
Warning. Warp core collapse in 10 seconds.
So the next episode, and the last episode, Bad Bunny taught me about the appropriateness of doing this, to name the thing that you're talking about. The last episode that we were talking about is that's gonna pick up on the recording. Was the lonely Among Us. Oh yeah, I forgot to make an Among Us joke. Oh well, whatever. Oh no, no, we did make Among Us jokes. We made Among Us jokes. We didn't even remember it was called Lonely Among Us. Holy shit!
We're fucking too good at this.
Everything.
We're fucking posting on advanced levels. We post before we even think about it.
My
right.
God.
Yeah. We I think Brian was the one to call Picard a sussy baka. I think that's.
I did indeed.
Yeah, we have a thing with the emergency meeting. Oh my God! It was episode is called Lonely Among Us. Holy shit!
We're too good at this.
I'm
game.
marveling at our podcasting prowess on display.
Yeah.
Here. The next episode is Justice. Picard goes to the planet of the Nazis, I guess.
Fuck planet.
Yeah,
it's the fuck planet.
It's pansexual fuck planet for whites only.
Yes.
Yeah, it's what I imagine like libertarians believe they're pure, how they imagine it would actually pan out for them if it was only white people and if everybody appreciated the non-aggression principle or whatever, or whatever the fuck
this is like the planet that the Golden One would make. Like it's
yeah, totally.
It's fash. Yeah. It's very it's fash and everyone's white.
except for like there's no marriage laws, so I think like that's I think that's
that's true. That's degeneracy. So
I think they would find a lot of this degenerate. Although I think it would be funny if you were like one of those conservative weirdos, but instead of your profile pic being a black and white like Greek statue, it's just a black and white picture of one of these like orgy characters.
Which like I don't understand. Like
reject what is it? Reject
modernity.
Embrace tradition. Yeah.
Fuck tradition.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Like
Embrace Star Trek.
Okay, hold on. I'll bring this topic up as we go on, but I just want to say, like, because like this whole planet is, we keep saying like they fuck, like these people fuck like in the way that like you would envision like old Greek orgies would happen.
Yeah,
like,
they're all in the same room with each other. There's like the wine is flowing.
With there's no one is gay. It's only are you fucking serious?
I mean, there are some like pretty strong like bisexual vibes, but no one. The world wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone in the background. There wasn't like 2 dudes or like 2 women or like whatever, like just in the back, not even in the background. Like if somebody was touching another person or grabbing onto another person, it was always like
it was always heterosexual, exclusively.
I mean, that literally would not have aired at this time.
That's true.
It's easy to forget, but like mainstream U.S. culture was so fucking homophobic in like the late 80s.
No. I get that. But if you're going for like the whole like Greek orgy aesthetic, there was a lot of fucking man on man, man on boy, fucking shit going on.
Yeah, that's what
the reality is, but
Yeah,
when Wesley
look at
got involved,
Socrates.
it's like, oh God, where's this going?
Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
Is he about to get groomed?
There are some uncomfortable
God, no.
scenes with Wesley on the fuck planet. Let's just say
Yeah, he's
that.
a real. He first like jumping ahead, but like leave it to fucking Wesley to ruin a perfectly fun trip to Planet Fuck.
It's true.
Yeah, seriously.
Just having a great time. Jonathan Frakes is presumably, like, canonically, I believe, like he has sex with at least a few of these people.
Yeah, well,
he's in a good mood.
Tasha fucks. The only one that they
Yeah.
actually like directly imply has fucked is Tasha. The setup for the episode not super important. They have a colony in a neighboring star system, and they're like, oh look, there's this inhabited planet nearby, but there's no indication that this habited planet is like a spacefaring civilization, and this is about like the Prime Directive. So why did they go to this planet in the first place? I don't really understand it. It's just
he said something about maybe check out if it's good for like recreation.
Well,
I'd say it was
because they went to go check it out just because it was an inhabited planet, but they wanted to do like shore leave there.
Yeah. It was a I'm gonna sound like Eric. It was a Class M planet that they wanted to be able to see if let people stretch their legs a little bit. You know,
touch grass. The doctor demands that the crew is able to touch some grass, and by
the
God,
holodeck
do they
is
touch
nice,
grass.
but like that, the holodeck is nice, but does not offer
fresh air.
This information might be out there, but I'm watching it. I'm like, knowing they filmed this in L.A. I'm just trying to figure out which like. It's either like the Beverly Hills Hotel or a resort in Palm Springs.
Yeah,
where they shot all this shit at.
I mean, don't a lot of like billionaires or like whatever millionaires or whoever the fuck lives out there, don't they usually like rent out their houses for extra money to film porn in? Isn't that like a whole like thing?
That's more I don't know if that's as common anymore, but it was less so in like the more old money parts of the city, but like the more McMansion stuff in like the valley. Yeah,
and that's something I'd like to get. And feel free to chime in with any of that stuff, because you know a lot more about like the Hollywood and the production side of things than certainly I do. Absolutely.
QAnon would absolutely have me killed.
Oh, you are
for being in on it.
You are an absolute reptile, but but we're all reptiles here on Left Trek, so
absolutely, don't worry too much
about it. Well, the thing that I wanted to mention with that is that that's definitely the same place where they set Starfleet headquarters. I am almost 100% certain that it's Starfleet headquarters. It's wherever that is.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, there's definitely some different architecture stuff going on, but that field.
Yeah, they have like a different matte painting in the background.
Basically.
Where they have it's just some like resort in LA, and then they just put like the San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge just in the background, and that's why it fucking annoys. I go to San Francisco relatively often, and they just show where Starfleet headquarters is in like relation to the Golden Gate Bridge, and it makes absolutely no fucking sense. And
wouldn't it be where that old Navy base is?
Yeah, on like the other
side. You know what
side,
I'm talking about?
On like on the other side of the city, but not on the Pacific side, on the bay side of the bridge.
That doesn't make sense. Also, you can't even fucking see the Golden Gate Bridge most days.
It's so weird, and then it switches. I know it fucking switches because it's just some fucking photograph that they took and they just painted it in the background. In every series, in every scene, they go there all the time. It switches around, and it drives me fucking insane because they say that it's in San Francisco. Never once is it actually in San Francisco. It's either on the other side. It's either on the fucking ocean. Or it's like closer to Sausalito. Like it's it is not in San Francisco. It's
Sausalito or it's like fucking Oakland.
Yeah, well, no, because it's like next to the bridge. Like they.
Oh, it's right next to the bridge.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was like in the bay.
Because when you see a picture of it, because they always show the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. That's just how you know that it's in San Francisco. It's always like right. It's like the first exit off of the bridge on either side. And in real life,
looking at pictures of this is very inconsistent.
Yeah. Because in real life, there's absolutely nothing there. There's a place where you can view the city, and like a little pier. So they would have like just to terraform that whole place to make. I mean,
they
work.
probably are gonna have to. Like, San Francisco is one of the main reasons it's the worst hellscape in the country is they like literally just don't have enough fucking land. Like it's a very small city, so they should terraform it. Yeah, they should just fill the fucking bay with cement.
Oh, and that's basically what they already did.
Isn't San Francisco Bay like a migration path for like animals, like for like whales and shit?
Well, that would be worth considering. Yes.
Yeah,
I a little bit of it,
it definitely is.
Forgive me and my Midwestern my simple Midwestern mind here. I'm not familiar with those strong Western ways, but I just
you gotta pave Bay Area and put up a parking lot. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what happens in real life.
If you look at the borders of Manhattan, compared over the last like 300 years, like they've added like 150 yards to like every side of New York City.
Well, yeah, it was literally built on fucking on a landfill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it was expanded on a landfill.
That is San Francisco too, because anything that's flat in San Francisco, it was filled in. It was an ocean, and they've just filled it in, and that's all. And that's a lot of area.
That's one of the reasons why I fucking hate New York City, in comparison to Chicago. Like if I had a choice if I had a choice, because I mean I lived in Chicago for 10 years, but like I went to New York, and I stayed with my sister. My sister used to live on Long Island, and like fucking hated New York, couldn't fucking stand it, and like the way that the history of New York versus the history of Chicago, like in like its architecture and like how it's built and how it functions and like blah blah blah, depressing. New York fucking sucks.
This is so East Coast. This is some East Coast shit. This is out of our wheelhouse. This is your people's drama. We're not involved in this. Chicago? What the? Is that even a real place? Probably not.
Sounds fake.
Chicago, New York, Boston. They're all basic. They're all just like the same city. They're basically right next to each other.
It's just one useful fiction that everybody has. There's nothing that the whole world actually is just the West Coast.
Unable to comply.
Back to the topic at hand, I'm seeing, based on fandom.com, that Starfleet is actually canonically in Marin, not in San Francisco.
Marin.
It is north.
So it is in Sausalito then, yeah.
It's the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, though it has expanded over the centuries to take over parts of Presidio, which is where the Navy used to have their base. So it's on both sides of the bridge, actually.
Well, and the opposite side as well. So it also has to be on the other side of the Presidio, like on the ocean, like where that nice like beach is basically. Because that's where they show in. It's not important. But yeah, no, I don't think that's confirmed. Like that's just fandom bullshit. Where people just write nonsense. Because the only information that they're gonna have is just looking at the same pictures that we're all looking at, and just looking at a map and being like, okay, so it was there, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Fuck Planet.
So they go to the fuck planet of white people with blonde hair. No, it's not it's not only just all white people. I thought at least there was like a token person of color. I had it in my mind that
I don't think so.
But
no,
I didn't see a single one.
Nope, not a single fucking person.
I mean, maybe a few Irish.
Somebody, yeah, there might have been an Italian. There's like one person that's getting a rub down who's like tan.
Yeah,
that's it. There's nothing.
And that was probably mostly the oil.
Probably. Absolutely.
But yeah, they get there and they're just coming on so strong already.
Everybody's all.
Oh my god, this is already like within the first minute. It's like this is the horniest episode.
Except for Worf. Worf was not digging it. Worf,
but even like he's just like, I like to fuck hard.
Oh, that's its own fucking stupid thing that comes back later in the show too.
Worf is like, I like to fuck too hard for fleshy people like this, and it's like, Jesus. Okay, dog.
He's like, I just like when so like they land on, like they go to the planet or whatever, and like when they're doing like the introductory hugs or whatever, and like Worf like just like awkwardly just like, okay, like I guess I'm engaged in this now, like just kind of.
But he looks over to Riker and he says, "Nice planet" or something like that.
Riker for like the first half until the thing happens, but like Riker is literally just like walking around just like smiling ear to ear.
Yes, he's having a great time.
So
and then Wesley has to go and ruin it.
Yeah, so they had an away team. Like the episode starts with the away team coming back, and like they have already fucked. Like it is established without saying it directly. It is established that they've already fucked. And then they go back down because they're evaluating the planet's potential for shore leave, I guess. And they bring the Wesley because the Wesley must determine if it's okay for kids as well.
She wanted him to touch grass. She wanted him to touch grass.
Yeah. Is it just for sex tourism or is it for kids too?
Yeah. There's a lot of kids on the Enterprise, famously. It's who knows? Because it's
there
a
were
ship
kids
of exploration.
there.
There were. There was
they fuck so much. They have children.
There was one actor who she was probably like 18, and then there was just like the two shortest people, because they got all these people from like a modeling agency catalog, right? Just to be in. Just to be there, like they just hired extras from and they just got like the two shortest people to be like the fellow boy children,
fellow teens,
because they
could be 16.
They
sure,
did not look like Wesley's age at all. Like the one guy was extreme, was like fucking Robin Williams, hairy, like.
Oh yeah. I like
that kid's 16. Okay, probably not.
Wesley starts doing like cartwheels and shit, and then like the girl goes up to him and she's just like, I want you to show me more things, and like Wesley's like, oh sure.
I don't know how to do all things. Oh God.
There's some games I haven't learned how to play.
I haven't to play like that.
Yeah, and she's like, well, we have a ball, and he's like, oh, you want to get a thick stick? Like that was his attempt at a dual entendre. Like he's just like, I need you to, go find like a big stick like this. Like
they say that the aliens make love at the drop of the hat, and then Tasha goes, any hat.
Yeah.
Tasha, and when they do the greeting, because there's an extended scene where they go down to the planet for the second time, and then there's this greeting where they get hugged, and then the guy's like, and it's a pleasure to see you again too, and they embrace, and Tasha's like just beaming,
full on
and like,
fuck me eyes.
She's fucked this guy, like this guy specifically. She has had sex with.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Bulbasaur?
I'm so sorry.
They greet them as they're coming down to the planet, and they want to fuck right then. They have to go over to the Senate, but no. Like, do you want to play at love? Right then, literally just right there in the courtyard, they want to fuck. And if Wesley wasn't there, they would have, because everyone was down.
They're kind of annoyed that there's a child there. Like, why would you bring a kid to fuck planet? Like, this is, guys. Really killing our vibes down here. But I guess we'll find some other young people.
Where do they put the rest of the kids?
No, they all run around. They're all running around.
They're all being groomed. Currently.
like I doesn't understand. Like literally, like okay, like if this was set, you know, like on this was like an HBO exclusive show, like around the same time like Game of Thrones and shit, people would just be fucking everywhere. You're just be cheeks clapping, it'd balls slapping, just like.
I mean,
Caligula,
there were like they were walking through rooms where there were people making out, and it's like I did finger quotes right there, where it was like there was like a lot of grinding happening. It's like it was like okay. Alrighty.
But just so the audience is
and
clear.
Riker once again walking through the room like, yeah, this is amazing. I love this.
Before I forget, I want to say one thing I can say about Jonathan Frakes is if somebody had said, Jonathan Frakes, you're gonna have a love scene with a guy on Fuck Planet, he would have been like, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm really sad that didn't happen.
He famously advocated for the episode with the gender neutral aliens. He famously advocated for the love interest to be played by a male actor, and then Rick Berman was like, no, that's gay. we
gay bad.
No.
Rick Berman ruins my buzz. That's what I'm saying.
There's just always one producer, one great man there to ruin Star Trek in every era. First it was Gene Roddenberry ruining his own creation. Then it was Rick Berman ruining Gene Roddenberry's creation, and now it's Alex Kurtzman, the writer of and the writer of Batman vs Superman, the writer director of The Mummy and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's
the resume speaks for itself.
Exactly. And trust me, the quality is Alex Kurtzman is say what you want, consistent.
Give this man every intellectual property.
Turn everything to shit.
It's oh my fucking god. Yeah. We proceed with like Wesley going off and they're playing, and they wanted to play ball, and I'm thinking like that the girl was actually talking about fucking and not like some ball game.
Clearly
because the game they do end up playing is stupid.
I think they were trying to set up like a foursome. I think they were really just being like, you know, like, hey, Wesley, you're gonna go play catch, and then like he completely misunderstood.
He
completely misunderstood.
Yeah. And so they end up with like a ball, and they're just all running around in like a line, and they're just kind of tossing the ball to each other. And it's this very awkward scene because all these three other people were thinking like, okay, well, we were gonna have sex, but it's just this very awkward arrangement where they've invented this game where they toss a ball like 2 feet to one another, just running around.
It's very reminiscent of the
room.
The football skin in the room. Tossing the pigskin.
Yeah, where they're just like throwing the football around. Yeah, it's like the room, but with better sex scenes.
Somehow
it's better in Star Trek. Yeah.
They actually know like where to look for. They know where to aim on the planet, unlike the room. But they want to Wesley's a square, obviously, so they're like, let's just kill this guy. Let's just get this guy killed.
I mean, that's wait. Are you insinuating that they? Okay, so all right.
They absolutely.
We're missing the whole point. Obviously, there has to be a twist to the planet, right? Which means that they just like. They purge the instant anyone like breaks a law. Like that's it. Like that they just like they have security that walks around with a dart of poison.
The two ugliest guys on the planet, by the way. Like the two they find the two least attractive men and assign them the job of being cops.
Yeah. And that's a very so we find out before the ball scene happens that their system of justice is, and this is how they've created a paradise, and this would work on our planet too, where every crime is potentially punishable by death, but you don't know where the death penalty is enforced. No one but the council knows where the death penalty is enforced. So if you fuck up and do something bad, like you absolutely just fucking destroy an arboretum with like a wrestling level, like just fucking move, you're just breaking through 40 panes of glass and just destroying hundreds of hours of work of just planting these beautiful flowers. They'll if that's the zone where any crime is punishable by death, boom, it's over. It's over for you. And they try to find Wesley in time, but oh no, this one guy has thrown the ball, told Wesley to go long, and threw the ball in the direction of the fence, which they've established as demarcating of a punishment zone. And he throws the ball right towards the fence, and they're like, no, and then the girl, not the person that threw the ball, but the girl goes, no, Wesley, wait. They were absolutely trying to get this guy killed. Wesley goes long and just does the most amazing just jump right into this tiny little greenhouse and just absolutely fucks it up. And my favorite part of that is right afterwards, like, everyone's very concerned and very obviously saying like, oh no, this fucked up, and instead of like apologizing or anything,
he's not sorry about fucking up their flowers. He's just like, no, I'm fine.
No, I'm fine.
Fine.
You guys, I don't know why you guys are worried. I'm fine.
Yeah, that did strike me as weird. Like, he is completely unapologetic about the damage that he's done.
Yeah, he does not give a fuck.
And I like how he like stood up to the cops, or he's just like, I never lie. And it's like, bro, you're talking to the cop. You always lie when you talk to the cop. Doesn't matter. Like, he's just like, I'm part of the Federation. I always tell the truth. And it's like, dude, you are so fucking lame. You are so like, don't get me wrong. If you for fans of fucking Left Trek, if you listen to like the first 2 episodes, right? I'm mildly sympathetic to Wesley. I will make an argument a little bit, but this episode, nah, fuck that. Like, this kid is the type of kid that, like, you get in trouble with your friends, he's the one that, like, everyone's like, nope, I didn't see shit. No, I didn't see shit. And then, like, no, he's like, well, actually, my friend over there was just doing this thing, but I don't think it's illegal. You're just like, oh my fucking god, dude.
That's hilarious that you say that, because there is an episode much later, like season 7 episode, where that exact situation happens, and everyone's about to get away with this crime, and then fucking Wesley spills the beans and sends Tom Paris to the rehabilitation colony.
Poor Tom Paris.
You know the funny thing is that's not actually, like, it's the same actor, but that's not actually his character that ends up on Voyager, because if it was, like, Rick Berman wouldn't get, like, someone else would potentially get a writing credit for Voyager, and Rick Berman demanded that he had that for every episode of Voyager. It's
oh my god.
Yeah, there's some fucked up shit. But yeah, no, Wesley, I mean, different situation there, but yeah, fuck Wesley. They should have just killed him right there, but they didn't, unfortunately. Oh well.
Yeah, it would have been so easy.
Yeah, they say there's no cops on the planet, and then like 2 cops come over with ready to kill this child. That's the most cop thing I've seen on this show.
At least they're consistent, you know what I mean? Or like with like the mythos of cops just using excessive lethal force, even if it's like, and then like it ends up doing like a huge discussion like between like Picard and like they're like, like, well, you're obvious. Like, are they taking jabs at each other? Like, I didn't really understand that. Like the interaction.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like,
he was. It's hard to tell.
Like,
well, yeah, you're much more advanced culture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the things where like Gene Roddenberry likes to talk down to the Federation, likes to examine. He likes to have a foil for the Federation for these kind of values. So yeah, he's definitely like jabbing and criticizing these people for not like following their laws, even though you came to our planet, you have this prime direction that says, yeah, prime direction. Why do I say the prime direction? I say it every fucking episode. that you have this prime directive that says you need to follow our laws, and you're not doing it. Oh, you're too advanced, and we're too barbaric just because we want to lethal inject this child on the spot for breaking the greenhouse. Well, looks like you're gonna have to use your advanced technology, you fucking crackers. You're gonna get off of our planet. It's
I do like the extremely white planet being like,
yeah,
fucking
get these.
That's actually in the episode, by the way, that they call Worf a cracker.
Yeah. But it's bleeped.
It's censored appropriately. In the subtitles, there's a little asterisk where the A usually is.
Yeah, it's I'm sorry, they actually call him a Keebler ass bitch. That's what they call it.
The B plot for this episode is that like it's one of the good examples of an A and B plot that coincides with one another, because the B plot is that like there's some weird like alien space station around the planet, and that's God to these guys, I guess. No, it's literally just God to them. It's weird. I don't even know how to like go into it. So basically,
it's just these like advanced interdimensional beings that used to be flesh and blood, but now they're at a new plane of existence. That they never really explain like how they or why they came to be the gods for these people, or like how they feel about it. Yeah. I mean, I guess they feel pretty strongly about it, but it was a bit weird.
It's like how you have an ant colony. Like it's like like raising neopets.
It's kind of fucked up, because like when it comes up like on their screens, right? Like, and they're just like what is that? And then like Picard like tells Geordi like, can you go look at it? And it's like, first of all, excuse me, excuse me, go get a real look for us, or whatever the fuck he says. I don't know. You could put the fucking line in here.
It was something unintelligible, sir. Now running it through language and logic circuits.
Geordi,
sir,
have a real look.
Aye, sir.
But it's like, for me, like I was watching it, I'm like, was that a blind joke? Like, were you like, what is funny. You fucking asshole? Like, what are you? And then like Geordi just goes ahead and does it. But I mean, like, you know, like I get it. He has like the super ocular visor thing, and you know, whatever. But it's just like, dude, phrasing. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like.
Yeah, Picard asked Geordi to go have so there's this thing on the sensors that just appears, because they're like registering that an object is there, then you can kind of see it, but their sensors are giving them incorrect information. So Picard asked Geordi, for those who don't know, like Geordi is a blind character, and he has this visor that can read things in the electromagnetic spectrum, and so he can see differently. And so Picard asked Geordi to go have a real look at the thing, and Geordi gets up from the station, and I thought he was just gonna get close to the screen. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
No, he goes to a fucking window.
Yeah,
but
what he's actually doing is he's going to just like the nearest window to go just look at it with his visor, which I thought was very funny. To go look out one of the fucking windows and tell me what the fuck this thing is.
Can you look out a real window, not this fucking view screen bullshit?
But the weird thing is that like they do that and no further information is supplied. Like they just had this idea that like Geordi might be able to go look out the window, but it's a pointless scene. Like it's just padding. Like no one. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
I think they just like wanted to tell. I think they just like wanted to tell the fucking blind dude like, go have a look.
Yeah,
like
Picard just thought that was very funny.
Oh my god.
Hey, go have a look, Geordi. That's a reference.
Yeah.
That's what it was. French noises. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was just French noises.
Mm-hmm.
So the go have a look thing, and then like, you know, the way that it like enters the ship, like it's fucking like, I don't know, Ghost Rider or some shit. Like, well, that's a big pull for, you know, Zoomers. I don't know how to explain it. And then like ends up like I just love how like they stop it by just letting Data ponder his orb. Like that's it. Like it's just Data pondering orb, and then they go back to fuck planet. Like that's just.
I mean, orb ponders Data.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That's true.
When you ponder the orb ponders back onto you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a very deep and relevant episode.
Making topical references.
Yeah, the conflict is that they have the Prime Directive, which says that you got to obey someone else's laws if you're dealing with if they have proper jurisdiction, but sometimes the other people have fucked up laws and you can't obey those, so you can't let the cops lethally inject Wesley, even though the Prime Directive absolutely demands that you let the cops lethally inject Wesley. They broke the Prime Directive, and no two ways about it. It's broken. They should have let Wesley die. I'm pissed at Picard. I'm like the Admiral just screaming, you should have let that boy die, Picard. This is gonna be on your record for the rest of your fucking life.
Or at least, like, after all this, like, send that little ship back to Earth. This kid is causing all sorts of trouble. We had a great thing going with this fuck planet.
True. True. They literally.
We were there not even a day before this fucking tag-along kid decided to jump in some bushes.
To jump like harder than I've ever seen a person jump in my life, just into this fucking arboretum. Like, you cannot let this fucking idiot down on a planet ever again. He's gonna break something very important.
Yeah, the moral here is obviously no children in space.
Yes, yeah. Picard was right. Picard was absolutely right not to like kids. That's his one fucking character trait. And Picard is thinking like, oh god, I have a great chance to get Wesley off my fucking hands, and finally Dr. Crusher is gonna be unattached from family. Her husband's dead, her kid's gonna be dead. Finally I can shoot my shot and not feel guilty about it. But he's like, I better not.
I should do the right thing.
I better not let these crackers kill this child.
Well, how much better would the show be if they gave Picard like a really bad French accent, though?
That would be
Jean-Luc Picard.
I am
absolutely the best.
We have a Prime Directive that says that we must obey the laws of every planet we visit.
Like,
Beverly, would you like my baguette?
And he does a very French thing in the last episode too, where he talks about like how the Americans use red, white, and blue, but like the French properly use blue, white, and red. Like, Picard's the fucking French nationalist. It's very offensive.
He's very weird about that. Yeah.
One of his ancestors was the prime minister after Marine Le Pen.
Amazing.
Yeah, the like I don't understand. Like, once again, Wesley comes in to fucking, like, while like Picard is like trying to like negotiate for his life, and like Wesley's just like, I don't know, says some Wesley shit, and then Picard's like, "This is not your concern, boy," and like Wesley's like,
he was ready to die. He said, "He's like, well, it's one of us. It's one versus 1,000." So...
Yeah, that's how I understood it too. Like, Wesley was volunteering to die for like the safety of the ship, and you know, if all parties consent, then you know. I just want to let people be free to make their own decisions, and if Wesley Crusher, specifically Wesley Crusher, wants to die, I think we should let that happen.
Could you imagine if they just had like open comms like on the fucking like on the chest communicator thing, and they were just doing like an active poll of like the entire Enterprise staff, like do we kill
like a fucking Twitch chat poll.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you're just gonna be able to just like fuck yes. No, we're killing that. Oh yeah. And Wesley just has to hear every person like just talk shit.
99.9% of the vote goes to yes. You got 1,000 people here. No votes from his mom.
It's West, yeah, from his mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. You know. You. But the thing is, yeah, everybody votes yes, and then they let him get humanely euthanized by fuck planet people.
Yeah,
and then
the
they
boy
feed
would
him
have felt no pain.
And then they feed him to the Antikins. There you go.
Yeah.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Wrapped
Easy.
up. That's the Star Trek promise. Everything has perfect correlation with everything else, and everything matters.
Yeah.
And they find a planet of a bunch of white people with blonde hair and blue eyes. And then this perfect society where they execute all the crime, and they want to kill Wesley, and then they don't let Wesley get killed, and then they leave, and it's kind of anticlimactic. There's one like tiny Picard speech where he's pleading with their god to let them leave the planet, and I'm guessing what would have happened if the god wasn't listening to them, or Picard like wasn't official enough, is that they just would have euthanized all of them just right there. Just this fucking pile of dead bodies that they're just dragging around the entire main cast of the show.
They say like there's like they try to like teleport, basically like if your god actually like is actually paying attention, he'll let us go.
Yeah, justice has to have flexibility. Like it's a little Picard scene, and then
Riker's just like, what justice exists, as if it's a book or something like that, or what laws exist.
I don't even remember what the line was. I didn't go back to listen to it, but I remember it being stupid.
I don't know how to communicate this, or even if it is possible. But the question of justice has concerned me greatly of late. And I say to any creature who may be listening, there can be no justice so long as laws are absolute. Even life itself is an exercise in exceptions.
When has justice ever been as simple as a rule book?
Seems the Edo Lord agrees with you, number one.
And I just kind of
and then like all of a sudden they're allowed to teleport, and it's just like this is such a lib-brained episode. I fucking hate it. I hate everything about this. like it's like, sure, it's like they're sitting there like, well, we've done away with capital punishment like centuries ago, and it's like, well, I guess you're just more civilized than us. And it's like, well, no, I'm not saying all of that. I mean, like, your ways are your ways, but we have our own. And it's just like, god damn it, just shut the fuck up. On the Black Planet, you were talking about like, oh, we could just nuke these fuckers. Oh, if it wasn't for the Prime Directive, we could just photon blast their atmosphere and make sure that nothing could exist on here ever fucking again.
So
your empath was literally sitting there just like, oh, we could just like fuck it. We could just, if it wasn't for the Prime Directive, we could just enforce it and just not have to deal with this anymore. But no, these motherfuckers, they're going down, they're having a civil conversation with them. It's just like, I wonder what the difference is between the all black planet and the all white Aryan fuck me planet. Oh, who knows?
Yeah, there's a real subtle there. There's a very weird there's a very strong connection here. Yeah, because I was getting a lot of vibes from that episode Code of Honor too, because they and Eliot, so in an earlier episode, they go to this planet, but the planet is all black people, aliens.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, indeed.
Yeah. So they go to the planet of the black people, and it's not humans. They're just black people that are aliens. and their entire society is all about honor, and there's like it's very like primitive, and we can compare and contrast the planet of the all black people with the planet of the all white people. The planet of the all black people is this kind of like backwards, honor obsessed, like just this very strangely coded like society of like matriarchy and like gender norms and stuff.
Trees as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, and then there's a planet of the white people, which is a paradise where everyone has sex and they all love each other and there's no conflict, but they're also fascists, I guess. Or they also have the and the reactionary framing of like this crime thing, because that's just a normal thing that people say in political science, where just like harsh penalties make people and this is my field, so I try not to fucking ramble about this because I fucking hate it. It's the worst shit ever. Where like people think that human beings, these political scientists think that human beings work off this system of like incentive structures, where like, oh well, I can do this thing for this intended reward, but my want to do this points get lowered by the potential consequences of my actions, so harsher penalties will make it less likely to do the crime. And that's exactly the thinking behind this episode, and Gene Roddenberry says that system creates a paradise. It's not worth it because it's kind of shitty, but it would work.
Yeah, it's a real hell of a message,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's like really fucked up when like you literally have like what 4 episodes in between like the two of like an all black planet and an all white planet, and the one all black and the all white planet that wants to give capital punishment to a fucking child. You're gonna sit down and literally have like a face-to-face peaceful negotiation, and like where you're discussing like oh, how do I do it versus how do you do it, and like how our societies are different. But meanwhile, the first half of the black planet episode, you're going around sitting there talking about how just dropping a bomb on this fucking place would just ease all your problems. Yep. And it ends with you having your fucking security officer fight to the death with the fucking queen of the planet.
There's also a fight to the death, yeah.
Like the fight to the fucking and it's like really there was no way that you could have fucking okay, cool, yeah, no, this is great. Yeah, oh, you're fucking brilliant fucking messaging. This is fucking amazing.
Once again, I said it before and I'll say it again. Star Trek is the most racist show I've ever seen in my entire life. Season 1, folks, of TNG. Don't watch it. Once again, the Left Trick Promise. Watch Deep Space Nine. Maybe even watch Voyager. Watch like some from season 3. It takes season 3 to fucking get there in Next Generation. Don't watch the original series. Don't watch the first 2 seasons of Next Generation. God, please. You can. It's mostly episodic. You must skip all that stuff. We'll find a best of like a top 10 list and watch some of those if you want to get into Star Trek. Do not watch season 1. It sucks. If there's anything you can take from our commentary, all these fucking episodes suck. Don't watch them
unless you like The West Wing, in which case,
if you're someone who loves The West Wing, you're gonna love season 1 of The Next Generation.
It is weird that like Gene Roddenberry, he had like 25 years to come up with new ideas, and this is what he has to show for it.
Well, and I think a lot of some of these episodes are scripts that were written for the original series before it got thrown off the fucking air. Like like the Planet of the Black People one was almost certainly one. I'm thinking this one is too, because it had, especially with the alien, because the original series loved having like aliens with energy aliens with big booming voices. That's a very original series thing.
That's true.
And that was very present in this one. But yeah, I mean that's those are the episodes we talked about. Star Trek sucks. We all hate it. It's great. Well, we'll get to. I I kind of been thinking about this, but like, when is the first good episode of Star Trek? When is the first like eight, at least 8 out of 10 episode? Is there even one in season 1?
Oh, it's Deep Space Nine.
Well, okay, yeah, but for the just for the Next Generation, when is the first good episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation? I don't know. Is it Measure of a Man is in season 2? Is that what the first one is? Is there
maybe?
Is there another fucking 20? Is there another like 30 episodes of this fucking show before we get to a good episode? And there's a lot of things to talk about, obviously, a lot of interesting stuff, but like, holy fuck, it's so bad. And don't watch the new stuff either. Oh my god, we talked.
Definitely don't watch that.
Elliot knows about
honestly.
that.
Picard,
bad.
We're gonna say it again, okay? Picard put us into a recovery mode for a year. Okay, all three of us.
Picard delayed the creation of this podcast by an entire year. I just hated it. I ended up watching the rest of the fucking first season of that show, by the way.
Yeah.
You'll like this. If Elliot's a gamer, we can talk about this. The Picard show ends up ripping off Mass Effect.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games because they're too horny for me. But
yeah.
But that is interesting. That, huh?
Yeah, and Alex Kurtzman apparently has like a history of ripping off video games. There's some interesting stuff with that. But yeah, they literally rip off Mass Effect, and everyone understands what they did. And these fucking shows, Star Trek Discovery season 4 is airing right now, and I'm certain it's the worst. There's 100 people. There's 100 of the sickest people on earth watching it and loving every second of it, and it is, I'm certain, the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life, just like every other season of Discovery. I watched 2 seasons of Discovery. It was so bad. You know how Elon Musk gets mentioned as like as a important historical figure in Star Trek Discovery twice, once per season.
Sure does.
Oh,
sure fucking does.
So yes, you've had your experiences with Star Trek. What impressions are you getting for the Next Generation going forward from these episodes, Elliot?
It can only get better from here. Just in terms of effects, writing, ideological cohesiveness. Acting can get better, but acting, one of the few decent things so far.
Yeah. Oh god, they are really carrying this fucking show.
But it's I mean, like, the biggest thing is, like, this is a show that's supposed to have like something to say about the future, and in both of these episodes it's just incomprehensible. There's just nothing utopian or even interesting about it. It's just some fucking monster of the week shit.
And that kind of like flies like in the face of the premise of this podcast itself, because like we're
there's no political, like, real shit to even like chew on from either of these episodes.
Yeah, well, and it's because it's a utopian, it's a full, you know the line, it's a fully automated luxury gay space communist future, a science fiction future written exclusively by a bunch of libs. So
yeah.
We don't even go into a lot of the kind of interesting revolutionary, like, in economic side until Deep Space Nine, where they do explicitly cover that stuff. It just kind of goes unsaid in that it's basically like the vision is that there's just no problems for humanity in the future. The Gene Roddenberry exists, obviously, like, as a hippie in the time of the Cold War. So in the future, there's no there's no states that would end up making the conditions for the Cold War. It's this utopian future where people all get along. what are the mechanisms that had to be overthrown for that to happen? Well, that goes unsaid. There's
unexplored for a pretty long time.
We're as leftists analyzing Star Trek, we're grasping at straws here, and I hear people all the time talk about like the hard conservative fans of Star Trek and be like, how could they like a show like this? It's so progressive. Well, they can like it because the politics are nonsense. You could be like a fascist and just be seeing Star Trek as like the utopian vision as described in the Starship Troopers novel, and it'd basically be the same fucking thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of room to fill in,
But there's a lot to talk about, because there is also the point that we're like, there's really just nothing else that's like Star Trek. There's no other science fiction where that just depicts a fully just functional, fully cooperative the society of human beings, and that itself has some value to it, I hope. Otherwise, we're grasping at straws here. What are we even talking about? I don't know.
What is this podcast? Why is anybody watching this? What are we doing here?
Zot, you've seen 6 episodes of the Next Generation so far, and you fresh little babe, you have no idea what's to come. What are some of your impressions from these episodes?
I mean, it's more of the same fucking shit, to be honest. Like, I didn't even watch the last 2 episodes. Like, I did, like, honestly, like,
you didn't miss much.
Hell, I barely watched these ones. But honestly, like, there's literally like fuck all to like this is the fucking future libs envision would happen. Like, if Al Gore got elected, if like Trump never happened, Hillary fucking 2016, this is the future that they feel like was going to happen.
Especially Hillary 2016, absolutely.
This literally the only thing that saves this, that is holding this season down for me, is the Space Molly episode. That is it. That is it. More drugs in space episodes, please.
The horny space disease episode is Atlas holding up the world that is Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Without that episode, the series would not have continued. That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, no, the rest of this fucking sucks. Like, it's I understand why people were like, I understand why people were just like, oh yeah, no, that show is gonna get canceled. Like, what we just episode that was at risk of being canceled. Oh my goodness. What a fucking surprise.
Well, I mean, no, yeah, it's just the whole series, right?
Yeah, the whole series, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. Fuck whoever wrote this shit. I don't know. Was it the same person? Who is it? Like, did he write this whole first season?
That's a good question. I don't actually know.
Like who are the writing credits? Who do I have to fucking, like, who am I yelling at? Who am I actually angry at?
Gene Roddenberry,
like,
definitely.
This episode.
There were other writers that were carryovers from the original series that worked on this as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't you say that the planet one, the other one where like it ended with like a fucking the fight, what was it called? The Code of Honor
the
Code of Honor,
the planet,
the Code of Honor
one.
Episode. Yeah, the Code of Honor episode was the racist one? Wasn't that the one? Wasn't it originally like a pilot from like the original like Star Trek?
Yeah,
is that what you said?
I said that, and I said I would look it up to see if that was true, and then I didn't. But I'm pretty sure it's true. I think that's the case with a lot of episodes in early season 1. Where they were just like leftover scripts that they ended up like punching up over decades, and then this is the product. And you can tell too, because not just because of how shitty everything is, but because of like the flavor in it. It's a whole discussion, and it's very bad.
No, I don't know. Fuck this. I don't know. Hey, I'm here for more of it. I'm in for the long haul. Let's fucking go. It's I mean, I'm not gonna stop watching it. I mean, I've seen worse. I've watched worse.
Worse,
you know?
does shockingly exist.
Yeah.
So like, okay, here's a question for Eliot. What would you rather, these 2 episodes that you watched, or the 2 episodes that you watched of the Picard series?
These 2, 100%.
It's not even close, is it? It's
yeah.
Just, these are comprehensible, like, somewhat. Yeah.
These are at least worth considering. Like, the Picard is just like, fucking IP fandom. There's just nothing to it. It's just fan service. Like, oh, Picard is back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
don't know. I kind of want to watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna like watch an episode and like I'm gonna compare it between like the writing of this show and the writing of Picard, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, I mean, if
maybe
you
not the Picard, maybe not the Picard series, because the Picard series is just like is a 10 episode story, and there's nothing to like sink your teeth into, like, of individual ones. Discovery might be a better one for that.
I tell you what, if we get any pay, we'll make it a Patreon goal or whatever.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We'll do it. We'll do it fucking live. We'll do it in the we'll do it in a Discord or whatever.
Well,
where like people can like fucking like people can watch it and like see us get mad or like whatever, hate ourselves in real time.
I get so mad at new Star Trek. It would be a blast. But yeah, that's Left Trek. That's the next generation. Yay, we did it.
Yay.
Speaking a little bit of Patreon. We talked about this on episode 1. We talked about it now. Me, Brian, and Eliot, a year before the creation of this podcast, recorded the hidden episode 0. I think every good podcast needs a lost episode in episode 0, and we have that. So for the launch of this video, I will also be editing together our episode 0, and that will be exclusively on the Patreon. As bad as Star Trek Picard is, the episode holds up. Don't you worry. Also on the Patreon will be a little thing that's me and Brian recorded talking about the Maquis as well. And if you're not a Star Trek fan, that means nothing to you. But we also have some juicy things that we had to cut out for time from our recording with Nicole. She says a little story that is literally, I'm not kidding, the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's on the Patreon, folks. Look forward to it. Hi there, future Eric, just cutting in to say that I'm not actually going to be releasing episode 0 in at the same time as I'm releasing the part 2 of episode 4 that we recorded with Eliot. All the things I said are true. It is about the Picard series. I do still have it. Unfortunately, it is on an old computer that is largely inaccessible at this time. I still have it. I'm still planning on putting that out, but it's going to require a lot of work. So maybe if you go to our Patreon and look it up, I'll have it as a reward tier or something like that. We'll see. We're playing it loose here on Left Trek. Sorry about that. If you're looking forward to that, I promise it'll be out someday. And one way or another, this will not be the last that you see of Eliot on this program. Thank you so much for listening. We will resume with our regular scheduled programming. The innovation of this podcast is that we do the plugs at the beginning and we do the plugs at the end. Starting especially with special guest Eliot, we talked about the internet today. Let me say, internet today, it's pretty much the only place I get my entertainment news. They run a good show over there.
YouTube search bar, internet today. You'll find it.
if you like tech news and the tons, if you want the inside scoop on what's going on in the world of NFTs,
God damn it, the worst thing that's ever happened to me is having to care
you
about
specifically.
That shit.
You specifically, the fucking world, homie.
But me specifically, because
you specifically. Okay,
yeah,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, because I actually have to like fucking read about it and talk about it for my job.
Yeah, they cover all of the good things. I highly recommend Internet Today. It's a very good show. A good old Ricky and Eliot. Check that out. You can find me on a podcast called Left Track. It's on YouTube. Look it up sometimes. It's pretty good. And then we have the representatives from the Twitchverse, Brian and Zotz.
Hi. I'm Brian. I'm Trashcan1312. You can check me out on Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah, Trashcan1312 on Twitch and Twitter.
Stuff. And what Eric said.
And don't worry, we're going to cut this whole thing out. It ended up getting very sloppy.
Specify parameters.
I'm gonna add this in at the end because this is important. This is funny. This is a good thing to end on. Okay, continue.
All right, so I looked it up on the Wikipedia, and so about Code of Honor, some of the cast, including Jonathan Frakes, sought to prevent the episode from being re-aired. Michael Dorn wished they hadn't done the episode and was glad he was not in it. In a 2012 interview, Patrick Stewart agreed with fans that considered the season 2 episode this is a different thing. Measure the Man to be the first truly great episode of the series, but stated also that the first season had several quite weak episodes. Referring to Code of Honor in particular, he said, "I think that one of the early I can think of one very early on that involved a race of black aliens that we all felt quite embarrassed about." Oh god, I don't see anything about writing being from the original series, but yeah, it's
I have to look on like IMDb trivia for it as well.
Yeah,
but this is the official ending of the podcast. In case I want to just re-edit some things here. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You heard all the plugs. Specifically Eliot at Internet Today. Do check it out. They do a news coverage. Ricky and Eliot. They cover just general weird news from the internet. If you're not like an incredibly online person, but or maybe you just don't like pay attention to not news like CNN news, but news like just the curios from recent events, stuff of they unfortunately they hate it more than anyone, but they do coverage about all the stupid goings on with the NFTs and the certain like recurring characters in just modern life. They have a show about like technology and stuff. I feel like we didn't do the plug for Internet Today justice, so highly recommend that. And please, the Patreon for Left Trek is we said it was gonna be $1. It's $3. I'm sorry, Patreon made me do it. I'm sorry. Okay, please, I'm sorry. It's a $3.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. If it was anything else, we'd have to make NFTs. Do you want us to have to make NFTs? No, please. Do you know what inflation's like these days? $1, $3 now. We're sorry that we lied to you, that we made Bad Bunny lie for us, but it's only $3. Please. One of our hosts has a child.